My next guest I always enjoy talking to every week is Dr. Vincent.
Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong, 'cause I am wise to leave them open for so long.
Dr. Vincent, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Richard. Good afternoon, Josh, too. I was speaking to Josh just before we went on air, and he said that you have been taking the email of advice or talking points that we're going to talk about today to heart, and you have started eating slower.
Yeah, I was joking. Because you're saying, and Vincent comes on every week and gives us health tips, and I always enjoy, because, you talk about basic science, which I think is great. I really do.
Basic science and practical advice, because don't forget, it's one thing to know and do something that will make your life healthier, but it's quite another to be obsessed with basically being very strict with yourself, because don't forget, we are not going to, well, most of us, at least not me, we're not going down the runway and we're not making money off of being like really fit. So we have
speak
for
yourself.
Life.
Good heavens. Say yes.
Sorry, Richard. That's right. Yes, I speak for myself. So we are not, at least for me, we are normal people who wants to have normal social life, and we need something practical, because if you go on Google, or if you actually listen to a lot of my colleagues, and no disrespect to them, and I am saying is that sometimes we have to wear the hat of normal people in terms of we need a little bit of sugar. We still need to enjoy fried food. Some of us enjoy alcoholic beverage at the end of the day or at the end of the week. What I'm trying to share with you, Richard, and to listeners out there, is how we can make a healthier option without sacrificing our social life and without sacrificing our happiness.
Which is great. And, because you don't mind that occasionally, I'll sneak off from McDonald's burger. Doesn't matter. It's occasionally.
As long as it's not fillet of fish, because
no, that's awful. No. Nobody buys fillet of fish. It's probably one of the worst things you can ever buy. I'm going to say, dreadful thing, fillet of fish. And you'll be pleased to know I joined a gym as well, going 3 times a week.
That is very, very encouraging to everyone who's listening, because 2 to 3 times a week is really, really good, because it gets you into routine. And I always say that if you want to develop a routine, do something at least 2 to 3 times a week. And after 3 to 4 weeks, your body will get used to it, and you will actually miss it when you are not actually doing all of this new stuff that you are talking yourself into doing.
When we talk about, when we talk about, eating food, it's. Sorry, everything's going off at the moment on my computer. Why should we be eating slowly?
Because eating slowly will actually help you lose the excess weight, and like you said, there is a basic science involved. Because the process of feeling full does not just involve your stomach alone. It is scientifically proven that a full tummy is only a part of the reason why we feel satisfied after eating. The other part, or the more significant part even, is about the mechanical and hormone signaling system that needs time to travel from our stomach to our brain to signal our brain to say that that's it, I'm satisfied, I'm full. So by eating slowly, you are basically tricking your brain, allowing that mechanics and hormonal signaling system to reach your brain to say that that's it, I don't need more. When you are rushing in eating, you don't allow that time for the signaling to happen. And at the end of the day, or at the end of your meal, you will feel excessively full, and you don't actually, enjoy yourself, because at the end of the day, eating anything, eating food or having a meal, there are 2 purposes for it. One is to satisfy your physiological needs, including your nutrition and everything. And secondly, and also as important, is to satisfy you psychologically and mentally, because food needs to nourish not only your body, but also your mental well-being.
I mean, when you talk about eating slowly, you know, for your mental well-being, you know, when you slow food down, and, you know, I've been guilty of it many times in the past, to go along and, you know, literally stand there and you have a couple of drinks and you belt the food down. You know, it's probably is more about experiencing the food sometimes, isn't it?
That's correct, because when you chew your food more, you actually release more flavor from your food. You take time to experience the flavor. The benefits of chewing more is that it takes you longer to eat food, so it automatically slows down your eating. And research actually shows that when people double the amount of the times that they're chewing, the amount of food they consume can be reduced by up to 15%. So basically, not only you are getting more out of your food, you're actually consuming less calories, because at the end of the day, losing weight or maintaining a healthy weight is a mathematical problem. It is about the calorie that you put into your body and the calorie that you exert out. And I don't know about you, I'd rather eat less fried chicken, one less fried chicken, than spending 30 minutes on a treadmill.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, that's it. And you say, and put your cutlery down between bites.
Yes, this is something that I actually practice, because I have found that sometimes it's really hard to implement a new habit into our lifestyle. So one of the ways that I trick my brain into thinking that I'm doing something without actually doing something is that I train myself to put my cutlery down between bites. Because what happens is that when you put your cutlery down, you're slowing yourself into the next bite. And what happens is that it also goes into the next tips that I will share with you guys, is that to talk more. A lot of times now, especially in the digital era, which is good, I will not be able to do what I do in terms of business without internet. However, this chat applications, social media, really hurt our ability as a human being to communicate face to face, to actually form sentence, to converse with people. And I have found that dinner table talk remains my most favorite time to share about your day. It can, to argue, to exchange ideas. So when you put down your cutlery, you can talk more. You can know a lot about your partner, your family, exchange ideas. As a matter of fact, our company will be launching new product in February next year. And the idea came to fruition because of a dinner table talk.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, that's yeah, because we don't, and, you know, I notice when I see people going out, when I'm out and about, a lot of the times they're not talking. They're sitting on their phones and eating as well in a group, and I just don't understand that.
I know, and a lot of you who are listening probably think that I am from the previous or two previous generation. I'm not. I'm 33 years old, so while I was not born into the digital era, my generation was an early adopter of phones and smartphones and all of this technology. But it still irks me, like you said, Richard, when I go out and see people around and paying $200 to $300 even sometimes when you go to like fancy restaurants, and they're spending their time on the phone. Yeah. I'm guilty as charged of taking pictures. I mean, you know, the camera is first, because
of course we do.
You're paying all this money and you want to take pictures and create memory. But after that, you put your cell phone down and actually have a conversation with the people in front of you. Enjoy the food, because when you're on your screen and you're eating, believe you me, you enjoy and experience the food less compared to when you're actually talking, because you can then exchange what you think about the food. We all love shows like MasterChef, My Kitchen Rules, and all of the cooking shows. And guess what? When you're watching all of the shows, what they're talking about, they're basically verbalizing the flavor and the experience about the food. And we know that we love that. Why don't we try it with people around us?
And you're saying as well, like, we should all drink water during a meal as well. Occasionally, if you go out, you do have alcohol, but water is a good thing to go along and slide into that as well.
That's correct. And I always like to remind people that 50%. So half of the time when we're feeling peckish or when we're feeling really, really hungry, it's actually our brain telling us we need water. So we're actually thirsty. So take a sip of water, drink a glass of water before your meal. A lot of people think that when you're drinking water, you're actually impede on your body's ability to digest food. That is not true. It is an old wives' tale. It's a myth. Scientifically, it actually helps our body to digest food better. And you're right. When you're drinking, always remember to hydrate. You will feel better the next day.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't actually want to have a night out and then lose the entire day the next day.
No.
Because then what's the point of doing that?
That's
so
exactly
water
right.
is your friend.
Yeah, it is your friend. You know, you can mix and match. And, you know, people should work for their food, shouldn't they, as well? Because, you know, we might like the fried things, but whole foods are very good.
Whole food is very, very good. I even go one step further in saying that do not cut up your food and serve it if you cook at home. Let yourself work through that piece of steak when you're actually eating it. Because when you cut up your food, and I've done survey about this, people eat up to 40 to 50% more when they don't have to work for their food.
Oh, no.
So
no, steak. You cut that steak up and eat it. Good heavens.
So, yeah, these are all very simple things, and we can actually implement it tonight. And this can be a point of conversation. Maybe you don't agree with what I say every week. Talk about it with your partner and friends, and let me know. Let me and Richard know next week. Call into the studio and let us know what you think about all this. What I think was a practical advice that I share when it comes to eating slower.
No, that sounds sensible to me. Vincent, where can we find out more about you?
Please go to anappleaday.com.au. I really thank you, Richard, and everyone a lot for supporting what I do, because in what I do, I'm also supporting Australian apple farmers, because not a lot of companies now are making their products from Australian produce and 100% in Australia. And we are very, very proud to be doing that and to be keeping the manufacturing industry in Australia alive.
Which is what we like. Vincent, thanks very much. And we'll talk to you next week here on 5AA.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Vincent.